Jeez. You okay, bud?
No, I'm dying right now. I'm like dehydrated as fuck.
You try drinking some water.
I need to.
Careful, bro. He has autism, so he's going to get mad at you for telling him to do something he's already doing.
Damn.
Well, I'm actually drinking soda because I'm hoping there's something in here that'll help.
I don't think that'll help.
There's sugar.
I feel like soda will probably do the opposite effect for you.
I think I need sugar.
He doesn't know what he needs.
You need to be hydrated or you need sugar? What's
Both?
You're fucked.
I think like my minerals are just like out of whack right now.
It's about a Gatorade.
Well, I had like an electrolyte packet earlier.
You are tuning in to the Cigar Guys Podcast, where aficionados and newcomers alike gather to explore the vast cigar universe. Meet your host, Alexander Gonzalez, Mark Nikollaj, his big little brother Zachary Nikollaj, and Jared Burrows. So sit back, light up, and let's get the conversation started. But first, a quick word from our sponsors.
What if every cigar was considered vintage? What if every cigar that we made was that perfect experience? And so that passion drove us to create Sans Pareil, a cigar without equal. The inspiration between Sans Pareil is 100% all about quality. Everything that we enjoy in our cigars, everything from the tasting notes to the burn, to the aroma, to the way the cigar lights, to the packaging, everything is focused on Sans Pareil cigars. And that's where we came up with our name, Sans Pareil, which is French for without equal, unparalleled. And we take every cigar that we make to that level, making sure that if it isn't something that inspires you to do something more, then it's not part of the portfolio, and that's what drives us every day.
Jared, are you here?
He's going to say, I was born ready.
The condom wrapper is off. The cigar has been circumcised. We are ready to go.
Very nice. Zach?
I was born ready.
I'm ready.
Cool. All right, today we're going to talk about a topic that apparently is super opinionated, and there's no right answer, but there is science behind it at the same time. We're going to talk about cigar flavor notes. And Jared is...
Has Jared always lit a cigar like that?
Like what? Do it again.
He was just like torching the whole thing.
Oh, yeah. I mean,
Nothing torch, just a tip.
yeah, he holds the torch really close to his cigars.
It used to be worse, remember? Do you remember?
I remember everything.
And David was giving me crap?
David loves me, so there's no crap to be given.
Makes sense to me.
That's true.
What are you smoking, Jared?
I'm smoking a Bentley cigar. In fact, I think we all are smoking a Bentley cigar. A Bentley cigar
Very observant.
from
Jared.
Bentley.
Not to be confused with the car.
No, it is a cigar. I think. Courtesy of Jonathan Carney. Did I spit at you? Jonathan Carney from Bentley Cigars.
No.
I totally just spit tobacco at you. It's okay.
And if you look back at one of our previous episodes, you can see him on there.
That is true. And if you look at one of our future ones, he's on there too. At some point, we'll let you know.
Just another good day in the studio.
I am smoking the Bentley cigar.
It's handmade,
This is the Churchill Green,
just like the car.
which is a Maduro Rosado
Yeah.
wrapper.
Mhm.
And they're very good. They also have the Connecticut shade grown wrapper, which is their white, really good. So shout out to Bentley Cigars. They make some good stuff. And I think they got some stuff coming soon. I don't know if that's true or not, but
We'll find
I
out.
feel like it is true.
I guess he'll let us know in the future.
Yeah, exactly.
Or in the past.
in a future episode.
In the past. All right. So what do you guys thoughts on flavor notes, generally speaking?
I'm smoking the Bentley cigar.
I think it's highly subjective because everyone's going to taste something different, especially if they're pairing it with something.
I think it's,
And that's just the truth. That's just the facts.
I think Jared is wrong.
Okay.
I think what I say is set in stone and everyone has to follow it.
Okay. Mark?
Zach didn't even really give an answer. He just said that his opinion's correct and his opinion's right.
I've been hearing a lot of that lately.
He gave no opinion. He gave no substance.
Yeah. No, the substance was about.
Oh, like you are
Like-
the supreme cigar.
You notice
taster.
Mark is avoiding answering the question by complaining about somebody else.
Yeah. And you notice Jared is trying to talk more and discussing more complaining about me.
I just feel like you guys are ganging it up on me because Zach really hasn't answered. But
I just want to know how the gum
I
tastes
thought-
on a cigar.
I thought my answer was pretty spot on.
What is this gum?
Listen.
Cigar tastes like gum?
Back to my answer, right? I mean, I think it's completely subjective because everyone's taste notes are going to be different. And that's facts. You know what I mean?
And I agree. So that means Zach is correct based on his opinion.
what I think about
Alex,
notes.
what do you think?
I think, get out of my shot. I think, personally, flavor notes exist. They are real, but it could be subjective based on like your memory and your experiences. To give you a nice blanketed statement.
Yeah, and I think everybody has like a different palate. I think there's some core taste notes that like everybody tastes in a cigar. You know what I mean? Like everyone always says cedar. You know what I mean? That's like just one of them. But then there's some like subjective ones. Like I've heard like apple. You know,
And that's
a Granny
facts.
Smith apple.
That's facts.
specifically a Granny Smith apple. Yeah, you're right. And you know, I've heard like
What?
I feel like there's this core,
Apple core.
and then there's like this really abstract that people take.
Well, Mark is actually right, to be fair. There are very basic flavor profiles that you taste, and then subjectively, there's more, in-depth pinpoints that certain people do, like certain
Yeah.
memories that they unlock when they're
What would you
smoking
agree
a
the core ones are? Would it be like toast, leather, cedar,
Yeah,
some kind of nut
spice.
flavor, spice?
I think we're going to get into that.
Earth,
It's true.
fire,
manure.
water, air, just the four.
That's a fact.
The four main
Elements.
ones.
Can we make the thumbnail just like, that's a fact.
That could be a secondary thumbnail. I did make a great thumbnail for this already, which I'm glad I'll be happy to show you later. But anyway, basically, the whole flavor notes thing wasn't really super popular or as diverse or maybe as deep until like 2000s really. Especially with a lot of new cigars and competition driving different cigar manufacturers to make something different. Before, cigars were basically just, like Mark and Jared were saying, the main flavors, and as Zach would say, the main elements. Earth and like cocoa or woody, very basic stuff. And I feel like when we first start smoking cigars, at least most people, it's hard to pick up the flavor profiles or the flavor notes until you smoke a bunch of different stuff. And as time goes on, you start to pinpoint it more. Or maybe if someone gives you like an example and says, I taste this in the cigar, then maybe you'll be like, you know what? Actually, I think I do taste that. But there's science behind it too. So we're going to get into all this stuff.
Yeah. And the way people taste is different too. Like their strategies for tasting it.
Oh, there's strategies for tasting it.
Like me,
Explain.
Some people chew.
like
some
me
people-
personally, you get a taste from the initial smoke.
Yeah. First puff.
But then you get a little. Now you start to taste a little bit of the cocoa.
Like an aftertaste.
Yeah. But not like. Yeah.
Okay.
Hmm.
What do you guys' opinion, real quick, on retrohaling versus not retrohaling? Some people said you have to retrohale to taste the cigar in its entirety. Some people say you don't have to retrohale to enjoy the full flavor.
As a person who doesn't retrohale,
Bias.
well, no, I think you could still enjoy a cigar, without retrohaling. But I also think that, like, for example, if you were to make a cigar, you would need to have people who retrohale it because it could, make or break a cigar. You could have a great tasting cigar that you don't retrohale, and then as soon as you retrohale, you're like, oh man, like I don't want to smoke this again. Or it could be the best thing in the world, So I think it's good to do both. It's good to, have that deeper level of understanding, of a cigar, but I think you could still enjoy it without.
Okay. Jared?
I think the question was kind of stupid, honestly.
Okay, explain.
Because you don't have to retrohale a cigar to enjoy it. It sounds like I don't know.
Didn't I just say that?
It just sounds like someone wants to retrohale or they can't retrohale, so they're trying to convince you not to retrohale by saying you either retrohale to get the cigar to taste good or not. I think we should have a whole episode of us retrohaling a cigar.
Only retrohaling.
Yeah, only retrohaling. Yeah.
Just blow our nose out.
Well, I mean, it'll be clear at the end. For sure.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I think if you're not retrohaling, you're just kind of a bitch.
I'd go along with those lines. I mean,
No, I'm just joking. I don't know, man.
no, I'm joking. You don't have to joke here.
I feel like, honestly, though, the only difference I get from retrohaling is just I get, like, different spice notes.
Okay.
Like, I don't really get much of, like, a flavor difference.
So you get more of the spice coming through.
Yeah, 100%.
Okay. You'll get there one day, buddy. So basically, I mean, I agree with you don't have to retrohale to enjoy a cigar, but you do experience more flavor notes when you do retrohale. So for me personally, I've gotten into the habit of always retrohaling. So I have to actually force myself to not retrohale all the time. But to Mark's point, you definitely get more of the spice and the heat when you retrohale.
Not on this cigar, though. I mean, the retrohale's incredibly smooth. It's very nice. Tastes really good.
It is a very smooth retrohale.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I get more of the nutty flavor when I retrohale. Pause.
Yeah. I don't know. Sometimes you just want to retrohale to look cool, in front of a bunch of new smokers. You know what I mean? They're like,
Can't
damn,
do this, can you?
how do you do that?
Are you inhaling?
And then they try to do it and they start
The real
coughing.
pros can retrohale out of either nostril independently.
Really?
Alex, can you show us?
Yeah.
Ah, okay. Well,
It actually burns more too. More concentrated.
hurts so good.
It's so good.
Yeah, I just did that too. It hurt.
It actually did hurt. I was not expecting that. Because I've like when I have allergies or like a stuffy nose, I've smoked a cigar before where like it only comes out of one nostril. So yeah, I mean, accidental pro.
Yeah.
Sort of.
The thing about that too is I feel like it clears up for like a second, but then it gets even worse.
Actually, yeah, I'm not gonna lie. When I smoke a cigar while I have a stuffy nose, it helps. But then afterwards,
It's even worse.
yeah, you're right. Yeah, I have thought about that actually. Sucks.
How do we feel about getting the flavor when we inhale?
I think it's just more of a heartburn and
Can you show us an example?
one
Never.
more. One
No.
more.
Nah, I don't want to.
His doctor's gonna be like, "What?"
It's more like complete utter shock and fear of death for 1 second.
Yeah.
There's some people that do it.
Good for them.
Cigarette smokers.
Back in the day when real men were around, they only inhaled their cigars.
You think Churchill inhaled his cigars?
100%.
Do you think so?
100%. He inhaled every quarter inch of each cigar.
I was driving 2 days ago and I saw a guy. He was turning. I was at a red light and he was turning left. And he was already halfway down a cigar at like 6:30 a.m.
Oh, yeah.
That'd be me, bro.
I was like, all right, man.
That'd be me on the way back home from an airport run. Because someone wants to fly out at 4 a.m. But yeah, so basically, kind of like what Mark was saying, 1990s cigar aficionados started becoming big. The cigar boom, the first cigar boom of our recent time. And it was a way for people to kind of differentiate between cigars because obviously the wrapper was a difference. But people needed something to kind of connect to the wrapper. So if you look at like a shade grown, you have different flavor notes that you can attribute to that. And if you look at a Maduro, a darker cigar, certain flavor notes that attribute to that. So the main notes, for example, would be, like Mark said, cedar is one of them, coffee, leather, like Jared said, earth, like Zach said. Those are kind of the basic flavor profiles, and then they go deeper from that.
So I kind of don't like that aspect of, like, I understand, like, being like, okay, shade grown is going to taste more like this, sun grown is going to taste more like this. But then you get people that do it via like regions, right? Oh, I don't like smoking cigars from the DR, from Nicaragua, from here, because they have these notes. And that's when I'm kind of like, okay, it's a little bit unfair. You know, so you're blocking out a whole region of where cigars, you know, are rolled or made, because you think you may not like it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well, I think that's a generalization and a misconception.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah, you hear that a lot with like Dominican tobacco.
Yeah. People say Dominicans are either, some people say it's too spicy, some people say they're too mild. But at the end of the day too, the region where the tobacco is grown does have an impact on the flavor, but at the end of the day, it also really depends on the actual leaf itself, like what seed you're growing. Is it shade or sun grown? Is it a Maduro? Is it an Oscuro? The origin of the leaf itself. But yeah, so to simply say that Dominican cigars taste this way and this way is definitely not true. It goes way deeper than that. So yeah, to your point, I'm not going to smoke a Dominican cigar because the one or two that I've had in the past tasted like this. That would be a misconception. Great point, Zach.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah, round of applause for Zach, Jared.
Jared? I don't know. Jared?
It's okay.
It's not okay, actually.
What did I put here?
It's not okay.
I think Jared's just jealous he didn't make that point.
Yeah.
I actually fell asleep. I just woke up.
I had a note on here. I think it kind of attributes to what Zach was saying. The gatekeeping problem.
There it is. I knew it would happen.
So many gatekeepers in the cigar industry. It's unbelievable. Gatekeeping.
I know one at this table.
I'm actually curious who you're referring to.
Me.
Oh, okay.
Zach will text the group like, I just had a great cigar. Probably the best I've ever had. Like, sick. What is it? Don't worry about all that.
Don't worry about that. I don't want you.
You wouldn't know.
I found a cigar that's been aged. You know, it was cellophane was super yellow. It's been sitting for 10 years.
You're welcome.
What cigar was it? They sold out. Sorry.
I just bought the last one. It started with a P though. I'll give you that hint.
People basically claim that the coming out there with the flavor notes saying like, oh, the cigar tastes like this, and this steers away newcomers and new cigar smokers. They might feel intimidated. This is just opinion buzz that I hear.
Well, I mean, if you give someone your opinion on a cigar before they tried it, that's all they're going to be thinking about. They're trying to chase the notes, so to speak, find them out, see if it actually is there, if they actually exist. But the fact of the matter is, you really just got to try it yourself. You know, $15, try a cigar.
So your opinion is don't put ideas in someone's head before they try it. Let them experience it.
Yeah,
for themselves.
never listen to somebody else ever, and then just try the cigar yourself.
Yeah. Now, like even like a new smoker, let's just say they don't know any of the flavor profiles that they're supposed to taste or anything. Like I kind of agree. Like, don't tell them what's going to be in it. Just, hey, smoke the cigar and tell me if you like it. And if they like it, then you can be like, okay, well, the notes that you should be getting from that are cedar, hazelnut, you know, leathery, whatever, a little bit of pepper, and then they're like, oh, okay, yeah, I did taste those, you know. So then they kind of learn what they like. So when they go shop for another cigar, you know, they're gonna be like, hey, I want something a little peppery, a little creamy with the hazelnut, a little, you know.
So you're saying like for new smokers, it's a bad idea to do that, and because that might confuse them or steer them away from trying something?
I don't know if it would steer them away. Well, yeah, kind of. Because if, let's just say they see a cigar that says peppery and they're like, oh, well, I don't want anything spicy. You know, I don't want it to hurt. But then when they taste it, it's like, okay, like I feel what they're saying, you know, but it's not too bad. So if you just don't tell them and then they figure it out later, you know. But if they kind of have an idea what they're going for, it's like, yeah, tell them.
Okay.
And it also depends the reason, right?
Yeah.
You know, if someone hands you cigars like, hey, I know you smoke cigars, try this. I'm like, okay, don't tell me what's in it. Don't tell me your thoughts.
Yeah, you don't need all that.
You know, I'm like, I'm just going to try it and I'm going to tell you what I think. So it does depend on the situation. But for new cigar smokers, you know, hopefully someone sets them up right, gives them something, you know, not too crazy. But
So it's a situational tool that you can use.
yeah, I think so.
I got a different take on it.
Please.
I don't think it really matters if you put it on there for new smokers. Because I don't think new smokers are paying attention to that, you know? And by the time they do want to pay attention to that, they're already kind of into cigars. So now they're going to be looking at it like,
Damn.
okay, so this is what I'm tasting. You know what I'm saying? And they get start associating those flavors with that taste.
Well, like I was more thinking of like employees saying, you know, like, oh, you know, hey, I'm a new smoker. I want to try something. Okay. I have this Padron. You know, you're going to taste pepper. You're going to taste this. You're going to taste this. And then they're like, ooh, I don't want to taste pepper, you know, or I don't want to taste this, you know.
Well, I don't want to pay $25 for a cigar.
That's the main reason. No, actually, to your point, though, I have seen that happen with employees where they're like, oh, this is going to taste, you know, peppery. And they go, oh, no, I don't,
Yeah.
you know, but the misconception is that the pepper is more of a flavor. It doesn't necessarily mean that it's spicy
Yeah.
or that it's going to be strong.
Yeah, nothing wrong with a little pepper, a little spice.
Yeah, honestly, white people, they need to season their food better, so. And their cigars. Sometimes the cigar is not seasoned enough.
Pass the pepper.
Salty.
This is what we'll do to fix it. We'll make a barber pole with a Connecticut and a Maduro, and we'll call it the S&P, salt and pepper.
Oh. Trademarked. Don't try it. But there is science behind all this, too. When the filler, binder, wrapper are all burning, there's actual chemicals that are being like exude from the cigar, which is why you taste certain stuff. They release different organic compounds, VOCs as they call them.
Whoa. Isn't that illegal in the state of California?
It's not illegal. It's more of a warning, I think. I don't know.
Proposition 65 or something. I
mean,
don't know.
if it's in the air, what are you going to do? But yeah, so basically, Zach, you're a science guy. What does it say? Nitrogen heterocycles would bring spice, earthiness, and leather-like hints. Combustion temperature can also affect the flavor that you're tasting. But it is essentially, at the end of the day, chemistry is responsible for the stuff you're tasting.
Well, I don't know about you, but I'm pretty glad they're heterocycles, not homosexuals.
Thank God it's July now. No, but at the end of the day, yeah, the stuff you're tasting is based on chemical compounds. And then when we go into more of like the fine tuning of the flavor notes, that's more of the subjective stuff, you know, based on what you ate, based on what you drank before, or just your previous experiences, your sensory.
Based on what the tobacco ate.
Or based on what the tobacco ate. That is true. How much water intake. But at the end of the day, like we've all said, taste is, at the end of the day, subjective. You have the baseline that you can kind of iron down, but people at the end of the day might give you some interesting flavor
Give me some
notes.
obscure answers.
I'm very sure Half Wheel at one point had a peanut butter and jelly in a cigar review.
Have we?
True story.
See, now that's a
No.
story about somebody who dropped their cigar. We have our own story tonight, actually.
Really?
Mark, you want to talk about it?
I mean, I'm not a good storyteller, but
Oh my God.
I just got some gum stuck on my cigar.
How'd it taste?
That is a first.
I cut it off. They wouldn't replace it for me.
Notice the answer wasn't mint, spearmint, bubblegum.
No, I cut it off. I was pissed.
What color was it?
The gum?
Yeah.
I don't even remember. I was so annoyed.
All I saw was red.
I think it was spearmint. I think it was green.
So you didn't like
One puff.
try it?
No, I didn't try it. No, it's somebody else's gum. If it was my gum, I would have tried it.
I would have smashed that cigar with the gum in the ashtray and just spread it. Like, okay.
Yeah, I got a new one. Like, here you go. Burned it a little bit.
But yeah, Mark gave an example earlier. We got a review on one of the basic cigars. They said they tasted like Granny Smith apple.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah,
It was a true story.
and some other weird stuff too.
Yeah, it was interesting.
Like citrus.
Well, that's not really weird. That's a baseline, I would say. Do you taste citrus in cigars?
No.
Oh, okay. See, that's why he feels that way.
Remember, it's not one of the baselines. Either making it up, it's subjective.
No, I think citrus is like a baseline.
I've never had a orangey cigar.
I think it'd be like more like acidity kind of thing.
Yeah.
Maybe acidity.
Maybe, yeah. Acidity.
Or maybe having a San Pellegrino with some lime or something while smoking a cigar and added the acidity to it.
Well, I think the fact that it's all so subtle too adds to the subjectivity, because it might be too subtle for you to taste, but you know, someone like me who's a professional, I can taste it.
Or maybe they're just making it up so that you're unique on some cigar review website.
And that is a great argument too.
It's
like
the only
peanut
argument.
butter and jelly, for example.
You know that's a bunch of bullshit.
Yes.
Someone was eating peanut butter jelly sandwich and mom
What are
made
you
them
talking about? Peanut butter and jelly.
while they're
On
smoking
half
a
wheel.
cigar.
Half wheel.
Half wheel? Said
Half
that?
wheel. Yes.
So the cigar tastes like peanut butter and jelly.
Yes.
Now they're just fucking with us at this point.
They're sometimes they go a little too far, I think. They're the usual suspects when it comes to extreme flavor notes.
Peanut butter and jelly.
You know what it is? They're probably like, hey, our ratings are dropping. Let's throw something crazy out there.
Because I get like,
On what cigar?
I don't remember.
It's like some peanut butter flavored cigar. Like,
That explains it. Like, I don't think I've ever tasted peanut, but I've tasted like different types of.
Like nutty.
Yeah, I'm glad he said it, not me, but exactly.
I've got an allergic reaction from a cigar. I have a peanut allergy,
Pussy.
so
I think really what it comes down to is that, like, honestly, cigars are kind of a hard thing to, like, describe how they taste. But there's clearly a different taste in everything, right?
Yeah.
And all the cigars. Clear. So that we're trying to rationalize it by saying, like, these flavors.
these common profiles. Like,
I mean, also when you get a box of like 10, 20, they will vary slightly, but they should very much hold their flavor from cigar to cigar.
Yeah.
So it's like subjectiveness on top of people's opinions, on top of subjectiveness. It just keeps going down.
Because, like an example would be like wine, right? Like, when you drink wine, you can definitely taste all those, like, flavor notes in there, right?
I mean, yeah, that's probably a better example.
Like fruity or whatever.
Tannins,
But when it comes to cigars, it's like
acidity.
like, even with a person
Fruity.
that doesn't drink wine, if they take a sip of wine and you, like, tell them taste a little fruity or it tastes a little of this, you know, they taste it too. You know what I mean? With cigars, it's a little harder. Like, you give somebody a cigar and to them, they're not really going to be tasting those, but they are going to be able to tell a difference between cigars. Does that make
Yeah.
sense?
Well, yeah, because when I first started smoking cigars, I didn't get the whole flavor note thing, but I just know that like this cigar tastes good. I like it. Let's say it's a Padron Maduro or something.
Yeah.
And then I smoke a like Perdomo Connecticut shade wrapper. They both taste great, and I can tell that they taste different, but I can't really conceptualize or describe to you why.
Exactly.
I would say though, smoking 5, maybe 7 cigars back to back with a little bit of water, getting to the point where it gets really difficult to taste the difference.
Yeah.
But you can still say they taste good.
Well, that goes back to, yeah, I mean, if you've had 5 cigars in a row, it's hard for you to actually pick up on the intended flavors. And if you eat spicy food before, that's going to attribute to what you're tasting. If you drink a certain beverage, that's going to attribute to what you're going to be tasting too.
I think what it all boils down to is trying to find calmness in the madness.
We got a philosopher in here.
Trying to find lightness in the darkness.
This guy gets it. He gets it.
Mm.
Kind of just copy what I said, almost, but
Trying to find the calm among the storm.
Okay.
Trying to find peace
And the chaos.
in unrest.
Trying to find
okay. All right, that's
God in hell.
Can
what?
you? All right, and he lost us there with that one. But like Zach said, brand marketing and packaging.
Did he say that?
No, I'm getting there. Jeez, give me like 3 seconds to talk. I'm talking about
Trying
the
to find-
psychological factors of it. Go ahead.
So I came out with a cigar review. It tastes like Tide Pods. That'll get the young people into cigars.
I thought that fad passed already.
It did, but people remember it. You know,
Those that survive.
you remember your first. You remember your first Tide Pod?
I don't actually. Do you?
No, I don't. Not anymore.
Been a while?
Anyway, so back to what I was saying about shipping. What did I say about shipping?
We're talking about the marketing, the packaging. Essentially, what I was getting to before I was really interrupted is the expectation that can be given to you before you try a cigar, and how that might disappoint you or steer you in the wrong direction.
Okay.
All right, next topic.
Good analysis.
I was just going to say, psychology plays a role in some of these factors.
100%.
Is what I was saying.
Is that the one that could write a prescription?
That's a psychiatrist.
Oh, my bad.
And I don't think they're the only ones that can write prescriptions.
Well, like psychologists can't, I think.
I mean, yeah, because that's like a made up science, really.
My dentist wrote me a prescription once.
That's that they could do that too.
Is your dentist a psychologist? Exactly. Psychologists today involve people on TikTok self-diagnosing to be autistic and then telling you why you also are autistic. So now I'm autistic. True story.
I would believe them, but I'm not part of the STEM section of TikTok, so I don't believe it.
I'm Albanian, so I don't know what the hell you guys are talking about.
Bro, people,
Go for it.
you act a little bit weird. People are like, oh, yeah, it's autism. Like, dude,
Do people say this to you?
You're just a little different. No, not me. But
Yeah,
like,
okay.
Just because you do something a little different doesn't mean you have autism. You know what I'm saying?
No, but my example is like there's this
You know what I mean?
no, there's this lady that keeps appearing on my TikTok, and she's like a autism counselor or whatever she identifies as, and she'll do a skit where it's like she's grabbing a bag, and then her boyfriend's like, "Oh, hey, can you grab the bag?" And then she's like, "I already have it in my hand." And then she has like a mental breakdown. And she's like, "Yeah, just give me 5 minutes." And then he's like, "Okay, I'll wait in the car." And she's like, just depressed. And I'm like, that's just an extreme example of what I go through every day.
Isn't she just acting? So she's recording herself doing this and then
That's the
explaining
thing.
afterwards?
Of course, yeah. The tripod set up, like it's obviously an act.
Yeah.
But it's like,
I've seen that.
yeah. But to me, like I see that. I'm like, I mean, I have that same thing, but it's not like I'm not all of a sudden put into depression. I'm just slightly annoyed, and then I get over it.
Damn.
So am I autistic?
Yeah, I think so.
So if you're slightly annoyed because you're already doing what you're asked to do, you're autistic. Is that what you're saying?
That's what I got from the video.
Hmm.
It's just I'm not a bitch about it, but it happens. I have feelings. I know people don't.
So why is
think
this video
so, but
showing up in your For You page? I'm a little curious.
honestly,
I've seen that on Instagram one time,
thank you.
and the comments were roasting her.
Well, on Instagram, people roast real well.
I feel like for me personally, my Instagram algorithm has gotten much better than my TikTok algorithm. So
Whoa.
I'm kind of giving up on TikTok.
Explains your activity lately.
What is that supposed to mean?
I'm getting a lot of good information about other topics.
So you approve of my
yeah,
algorithm?
but I just didn't understand that you were leaving TikTok.
I'm not leaving TikTok. I think I found balance.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Hmm.
I go to TikTok for entertainment, and I go to Instagram for Real news.
Would you say you found light in the darkness?
No, I found darkness pretty much. Darkness in the light, I would say.
Yeah, those Instagram comments are brutal.
You can't be soft on Instagram.
Trust me, I know.
I will say though, what's great about Instagram is if you're like on the explore page or in the reels, if you hit not interested in something, it gets rid of everything, like anything related.
Really? I found the opposite.
Well, with TikTok for me, I click not interested. The next 10 videos are going to be just like that.
Are you sure?
For some reason, you know, you're just like scrolling on Instagram and it's like the suggested reels.
On your main feed?
Yeah.
See, that I still have a problem with.
They're way different than like my
Yeah.
actual whatever. And I always click not interested and it's like more pop up after I do that.
I think all three of those pages use different algorithms. Because on my explore page, I'll click like not interested. Let's say it's like cigar, for example. It'll delete every single cigar related thing on my explore page, period.
Now, why did you do that?
Can I just give an example?
There's an example.
Oh, okay.
Don't worry, Jared.
Yeah, I was a little
the
concerned.
autism is acting up.
I'm stimming, bro. Don't make fun of me. And then with the reels, I feel like it does pretty good too. But the thing is, like, if I like one video on Instagram Reels, then it'll completely flip and be like, oh, so you
Gotcha
like
again.
this.
Gotcha.
Like I was on last night or 2 nights ago, I was on coffee videos and I just couldn't get rid of them. I was like, oh my God.
I'm to the point now where I don't repost shit.
I can't
I'm
repost
afraid
anything.
to like reels now.
Well, you can't like
you could
Reels.
see you could see
Yeah.
what reels like your friends like.
I know.
Instagram doxes you, bro. I'll only like
That's to
something.
say, I got a couple unfollows because of that. Just joking.
A couple.
That's
I
why we
lost
have
thousands.
we have a few special groups for that. You know, you just share it.
I found a nice coffee page. Guy goes different coffee shops, smokes cigars.
Really?
Yeah,
Is it like Alex Dandy or something?
I think it's like Alex Gonzalez or something.
Oh, that would make sense too. But yeah, I mean, coffee videos are great, but that's more of a TikTok thing for me. You know, I go to Instagram, I want like that
You want what?
dark conspiracy theories, like just straight.
I miss
you know,
like my.
you know who did it.
I missed my For You page. I missed my For You page when it was like all dark fantasy, all AI generated content. It's like you're watching a movie.
I'll tell you what, when I get those dark fantasy videos on TikTok, I'm just like, this is nice.
Yeah.
I don't know what that is.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah, you do.
You've
Yeah,
seen
you
them.
do. Jared sent them like all the time.
I watched the
It's
Yeti
like
videos.
and it's like
Oh, yeah.
It's like a night.
it's like a castle and like the guys walking towards it.
Yeah, I like the Yeti videos and
I like the Yeti ones.
Bigfoot ones. You know, the AI ones.
Those AI videos are great. We were actually coming up with some great ideas about the AI videos.
Hey, those people are making fucking money off that.
I know. That's crazy.
Wait until Google copyrights them all. We generated that video. It's our video.
Would they do that though?
Probably not, but they could.
It's like ChatGPT copywriting every single idea Jared's come up with.
It's possible. It's possible.
Or that Jared's produced, I should say.
My ideas come from my head. I just use ChatGPT to do like, spreadsheets, documents, answer text messages to our group chat, things like that.
Do you use ChatGPT to help you decipher flavor notes in cigars?
No, but I'm going to start.
I feel like Jared just like, he has all these great ideas, but he can't like...
Yeah, like write them down or get.
He can't explain them. He needs a tool or an outlet that
AI
can do
assistant.
it for him. An AI assistant. That is true. So, I know we've given a few examples. What is like one of the craziest or strangest flavor notes that you remember kind of being like, that's interesting,
Peanut butter and jelly.
that you've experienced?
Oh,
I don't really get a lot of like craziness, to be honest.
Not craziness, but like I think the most unique flavor note that I've had consistently, so it's not weird, is like blackberry or blueberry. Usually with cigars from Selected Tobacco, like the Atabey, Black Ritos, or the Alfonso. You get like different subtle fruity notes on there. Pause.
It's always weird when you're smoking a cigar and you're almost down to the nub and like the flavor changes. Then you look down and you're smoking the actual label on the cigar.
The band.
Yeah.
Yeah, trust me. I smell it before you taste it. That shit is potent.
And I stop because everyone else doesn't like it. So.
Oh, but you like it?
I don't not like it.
Jared's like, the strength on the cigar is just not hitting right. I need like a little extra something.
Need some paper.
Some paper, some paint.
I will say I was disappointed in, random example, the Padron's 60th year or the 60th anniversary because
Why?
that box has essentially what smells like spray paint all over it.
Oh, yeah. You told a story.
Yeah, so when I took the cigar out, it smelled like spray paint, cold draw, spray paint.
Yeah, that's weird. I once got a whole bag of cigars ruined by a flavored cigar. Because these cigars I bought at the cigar trade show, I'm like, yeah, it's a small company, whatever. I'm like, yeah, let me just get one of each. When I got home, opened it up, smelt it, and it just smelled straight up like
Acid.
I don't know, vanilla or like blueberry, whatever it was.
Fake flavor notes. Artificial flavors.
Disgusting.
Bad. Don't put your flavored cigars in the same humidor as your normal cigars.
I guess the weirdest flavor that I've got that I don't like is like sometimes you get some Connecticut's that really have like no substance at all and they almost just taste like paper.
Mm-hmm.
You
Yeah.
know what I mean?
Yeah, I agree. Not to call out any brands, Ashton, but the classic, sorry, that's one of the cigars where it just tastes like straight paper.
I agree.
I don't know if there's any really weirdness of taste other than, you know, the band, but I really don't like it when you're smoking a cigar where the flavor changes like 3 times from the beginning, the middle, the end. Sometimes it's good, but most of the time it's just annoying.
Really?
I like like consistent flavor throughout, consistent smoke, construction, you know, no heat, all that stuff. I mean, the best of the best.
So you don't like flavor changes?
Not really, no. I like it to be straight throughout. I don't like any surprises.
So yeah, for me, it depends on the cigar. Like if I'm smoking a good cigar, I don't mind that the flavor doesn't change. But like if I'm smoking a cigar, I'm like, I don't know if I like this, and then it changes into something I like. I'm like, okay, you know, I'm kind of glad I smoked through that. You know what I mean?
That's happened to me before. Actually, recently I had a cigar and it was really brief, but like the first 5 minutes was okay. And then it just opened up and it was really good. But yeah, like having a whole third that you don't enjoy, I'm like,
Yeah.
Like, for example, if it's like it starts off spicy or becomes spicy towards the end, it changes the whole the whole mood that you're in. You're like, I wasn't expecting this, or why'd it go away? So you're kind of like, well,
That is true. Yeah.
it's kind of a weird, like, why?
If it gets worse as the cigar goes on, that's like, no, that's a no-go. Like, I can't deal with that.
yeah.
But if it's like getting better, you know, it just like, it keeps you long enough to question if you like that cigar.
And the
Which
best,
I'm not sure if I like either, but you know.
and like going back to consistency, like the best cigars that stay consistent to the end, because a lot of cigars get that really like strong bitter flavor at the end. If you can smoke to the nub without a question, you know, that cigar's construction is just so well done.
Yeah.
For sure.
No, I hate when like you're smoking a good cigar and then like halfway through, the flavor just dies completely.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
that happens a lot.
It's almost like you got half a cigar or someone faked you out. You need your money back.
I did like the Diablo though. Diablo started off super spicy, but then like mellowed out towards the back. But it was like a smooth transition.
Yeah.
We need to start smoking some more spicy cigars, right? I mean, what was that one really spicy cigar we got from Z?
Oh, the Nika Reaper.
Yeah, we need to bring that back. I need to buy a box of those.
You really got to emphasize that name so people don't get confused.
Oh, I didn't say it.
No, I'm just speaking generally.
Oh, okay.
You really got to emphasize the C on there. But that, I mean, I wouldn't say that was like a spicy cigar, me personally.
The hype was there.
It was a great cigar.
It was great, yeah.
I mean, Mark smoked it in the morning.
I'll do it again.
Didn't finish.
I wouldn't smoke that Diablo in the morning. Say that.
Really?
No.
That's probably a great second cigar, though.
The Diablo?
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
That's the thing, too. Yeah. I mean, like, I'll have a cigar, the flavor changes completely. If I have it for my first cigar, it tastes a certain way. And then if I had it as a second cigar, it'll be completely different. I will say, though, one cigar that I always smoke, regardless if it's my first one or my third one, Samprai, you always taste the flavors. They always come through.
Yeah, it's consistent.
Yeah.
The best cigars to me are consistent. So I guess we really never answered the question that you originally asked. Like, what's the craziest flavor?
I mean, I answered.
I kind of answered.
I don't think there is an answer.
The craziest flavor is a flavor you don't like.
Damn. That's deep. We got a lot of philosophy this episode.
I'm learning a lot.
A lot of deep thinkers. A lot of minds. A lot of brain. Pause. All right. We're all like halfway through the Bentley cigar. First of all,
Very consistent.
what flavor notes are you tasting? And how do you like it?
Tasted some cocoa, some spice, some everything nice.
Yeah, I agree with the cocoa. I don't think there's any spice though.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm getting spice.
Yeah, I'm getting spice too.
You getting everything nice?
Maybe spice and flavor, not spice and heat.
Yeah. This.
Yeah, what do you think? We just dump hot sauce on this thing?
I would, honestly.
I got a lot of nutty flavors in the beginning.
Yeah.
Spice on the retro hail, a little bit of cocoa. I think more like espresso for me. But it is
Yeah.
very good. This is definitely, as far as flavor goes, it's more unique, which is a good thing. It's not like every other Maduro.
Yeah, it's not a very bold Maduro, but it's got a lot of flavor there.
Right.
It's handmade.
I think 99% of
What else, Jared?
all the cigars we smoke are handmade.
It has a band.
It's got tobacco, you know.
No artificial flavors. I really like that.
Until you get to the band, and then you're like, "Ooh, what is that?"
Well, this song took the band off before.
Oh, okay, good job.
Yeah.
Sometimes you forget.
But sometimes I like to add it back on for the flavor.
So do you prefer their Maduro or their Connecticut?
Oh, come on.
We know Jared's answer. Dude, honestly,
We could just end it right here.
all right. Jared prefers Maduro. Done deal. I think that I was thinking about this the other day. Actually, I think that I prefer the Maduro more, generally speaking. But I think that the Connecticut I enjoy as a first cigar, usually in the morning, and it hits better than the Maduro generally. But like, if you hand me a Bentley and it's my second cigar, if it's like later at night, I'm probably gonna get the Maduro. So it's a tough call.
All I heard was Maduro, so I don't.
Yeah, I know. We know.
Yeah.
What do you think?
I don't know. I really like the Connecticut.
It is great.
No, it is a good cigar, but when you have the option to smoke the Maduro, it's kind of like, what are you doing?
I think I find myself buying the Connecticut more often than the Maduro for this specific one.
Yeah.
Typically, I'm more of a Maduro guy, but
Yeah. If I walk into the humidor, let's say, I don't know, Blend and Barrel, and they have Bentley cigars there. If I'm there during the day, I would grab the Bentley Connecticut for sure.
With a coffee.
With a coffee.
Yeah.
Can't beat it. So, yeah, I would say I'd probably be more inclined to purchase the Connecticut based on the situation.
yeah, because you're more of a morning, afternoon guy.
Yeah, pretty much. But they're both great. What about you, Zach? Zach smoked enough now.
Yeah.
Philosophy.
Think about it. A cigar you like is a
Padron.
cigar you smoke. You know what I mean?
Bentley.
Dang. I never really thought about that until like you just said that.
Exactly. Got you thinking.
Alex, what are your thoughts on that?
I don't know.
I would have to go with Jared Maduro.
Okay.
Yeah. You know why?
Because it's the one you're smoking now?
Because the cigar you smoke is the one you like.
Okay. I don't think you really had an option coming in here.
What'd you smoke last night, Mark?
Last night? What did I smoke last night? I smoked the
Gum.
Bentley Maduro.
There we have it. The cigar you smoke is a cigar you like. So, for Maduro. There we go.
No, I'm still going with the Connecticut.
You're changing your answer again?
I'm never changing the first place.
That's fine. All right. Well, any final thoughts? Do you think that the flavor notes are the conversation with flavor notes? Do you think it's mostly hype? Is it essential?
I think it's all a scam, to be honest with you. Just
Really?
like whiskey, right? You know, it's all just a scam. So I'm trying to get you to buy stuff, you know. It's all the westernized marketing tactics. You know what I mean? Like, it's a Fugazi. It's
I think you have
Dust.
your base flavors. After all that bullshit, it's kind of like you're just making it up. I've known you for how long? How many years?
Too many.
How many decades? And he has never said anything about a citrus cigar.
That can't be true.
Listen, you're coming out with Granny Apple, Smith, you know, Miss Paula Dean flavored cigar. Like, no.
Westernized advertising topics. Westernized.
Yeah, I just think at the end of the day, it just comes down to cigars are such a hard thing to like describe how they taste. So we're just trying to make the difference. You know what I mean? Like besides, there's obviously the core flavors, but anything after that is really, you're just trying to like separate things.
You're trying to hype it up.
Not even hype it up. You're just trying to like
Be different.
No, you're just trying to rationalize
The goodness.
the difference in flavor.
Okay.
What?
Yeah.
He just gave us a summary of pretty much what we're talking about.
And at the end of the day, you're never going to taste peanut butter and jelly in a cigar. So I don't know what the fuck you're talking about. Or a Granny Apple Smith cigar. Jeez. Yeah, this tastes like grandma's apple pie. You know?
Listen,
What the fuck?
I mean, simple question, right? We're all smoking tobacco here, right? Have you ever seen an apple grow off a tobacco leaf? No. It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. Let me tell you, I would take honey as a flavor before anything else.
It actually is.
Exactly.
Now, what if you took a bunch of apples and composted them and grew tobacco out of that?
See, now we're thinking.
That's irrelevant.
Why? Because it would get the nutrients from the apple.
Okay, but
It would.
Well,
But does that mean that this cigar tastes like cow shit? Is that what you're telling me right now?
So they sometimes smell like that.
I would say this cigar doesn't, but the manure is a flavor or aroma that you get from a cigar. Some cigars. Some more than others. Sometimes it's bad. But sometimes you smoke a cigar and you're like, you acknowledge the manure, but it's not bad, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it's not like you got it on you,
Here we go.
right?
Alex pretty much has been taking after his dog lately. So he's been really liking that manure taste.
Jeez. I honestly thought it was going to be better than that. That was pretty weak.
Yeah, I couldn't come up with anything on the spot.
I was
Go ahead.
I was going to say your compost thing before you said that. I was going to say, like, what if you genetically engineered like an apple tree with a tobacco plant. So that way, or like the seed of an apple.
So what, you're trying to play God right now? Is that what you're trying to do, huh?
I mean, go to the produce section.
Go to the produce section. Yeah, no, dude.
You don't go to the produce section?
No.
You haven't eaten a banana?
Never. My life.
Everything that they sell at Publix is genetically modified.
Not
genetically
everything.
engineered. It is not the way God made it originally.
All right, a banana flavored cigar. It's on the table.
Actually, I have tasted banana on a cigar before.
Oh, here we go.
Swear to God.
Here we go.
It is public information.
What kind of banana?
All right.
The genetically modified ones, obviously.
Oh, okay. All right.
I haven't had the privilege to eat a real banana that God made.
I think that would be a great experiment, though. Taking like a bunch of different like fruits and like composting them and growing a tobacco leaf out of it and seeing if you got different flavors. So I'm calling out like AJ Fernandez. I'm calling out Padron. I'm calling out. La Aurora. Mix some different compost in there and see what you get. But I will be copywriting it, so you will have to pay me some royalties. It's not going to be a lot.
You can send it to the Cigar Guys. And we'll give all the proceeds to Mark.
I probably won't see a single dime of that. No, but honestly, though, I really think that'd be a cool experiment for somebody to do.
Do it.
That had like
we could do it in a pot, grow our own tobacco, have someone else roll it, unless we practice in the meantime. Maybe Mark can take those classes he's been talking about for so long. Or we could leave it up to the professionals. Anyway, we got another show to do, so let's wrap this up.
See you on the next one.
Remember, guys. Remember, guys.
It'll come out.
Smoke for the job you want, not for the job you have.
What the fuck does that even mean?
Anyways,
see you on the next one.
You guys mind if I jerk off here?
We hope you enjoyed this episode of the Cigar Guys Podcast. Make sure you subscribe and hit that notification bell so you can stay up to date with all the latest episodes. Looking for short-form content? Check out all our social media accounts in the description below. And now, a final word from our sponsors.
What if every cigar was considered vintage? What if every cigar that we made was that perfect experience? And so that passion drove us to create Sans Pareil, a cigar without equal. The inspiration between Sans Pareil is 100% all about quality. Everything that we enjoy in our cigars, everything from the tasting notes, to the burn, to the aroma, to the way the cigar lights, to the packaging, everything is focused on Sans Pareil cigars. And that's where we came up with our name, Sans Pareil, which is French for without equal, unparalleled. And we take every cigar that we make to that level, making sure that if it isn't something that inspires you to do something more, then it's not part of the portfolio, and that's what drives us every day.